Hi, little Isaac. It's Grandma Suzanne again, otherwise known as Grum. I want you to... Munchie and I just read you a book. Some of the bread that I threw away, most of it I got inside, but anyway. And Maisie was outside, but she came inside and now she's safe and everyone's inside. So I'm going to read you another book. Okay, here we go. The light's not great in here, but we'll do the best that we can. The Windy Day by G. Brian Karras. I wanted to say that when you read the last book about I stole this hat or this hat isn't mine, that one, if you look at the pictures, it's kind of easier to figure out what happened. I wasn't really looking at the pictures and so I missed it. But if you look closely, it's not a confusing book. Now let's hope this one's not a confusing book either. I don't think it will be. The Windy Day by G. Brian Karras. Simon & Schuster books for young readers. These are very nice pictures. For Margot and Patty. The artist worked on the windiest looking paper he could find. Bits of grass, newspapers, and flowers blow through this breezy book. Pencils, gouache, and acrylic paints were also used. I don't think I pronounced gouache right, but I did pronounce it French correct. But it may have a different pronunciation here. Okay, let's see what happens. One day, a little breeze peeled off the trade winds and went on its way. It blew over smooth hills. It skipped over choppy seas. Whistling a song through the treetops, it gathered up speed and headed for a tidy town. That's an interesting way to describe a town, a tidy town. So a little wind escaped off of the trade winds, peeled off, as they say, and it's gathering up speed and heading for a tidy town. In the tidy town, everyone is getting dressed, eating breakfast, and going about their business, just like every day. Lovely. They have a bakery, flower shop, schools, houses, or school. In a tidy house in the tidy town, a young boy was getting dressed. Underpants, then socks, then pants, then shirt, then shoes, and always in that order. Now, in your case, it would start with a diaper, and it wouldn't necessarily have shoes, but the idea is similar. Remember the other day when I started to put your pants on before I had put the underneath part that snaps? We had to start over or back up so that we got it in the right order. That's how it is with this little boy. He's putting everything in the right order. In his tidy room, his tidy house, his tidy clothes. He ate breakfast. 1 bowl of Crispies, 1/2 a banana, 1 glass of milk. Tidy. Kind of maybe the same most days, or every day perhaps. 1 glass of milk and went to school. One day that's going to be Isaac. But no rush. No rush at all. No rush, please. Ho hum. Don't know why they said that. School's not ho hum at all. School's exciting. But when the wind whooshed into town, we had a lot of wind in the week that you were here, didn't we? The chimes were singing all the time. When the wind blew into town, whooshed into town, it swept up leftover pancakes, eggs and oatmeal, alarm clocks, dominoes, bananas, photographs, newspapers, and notepads. That's what you call a jumble of things. All those things whirling together in the wind. It swept up house paint, geraniums, math papers, spelling tests, toothbrushes, cupcakes, and cream puffs. My, oh my. In a moment, I'll read the reactions that we see they've been saying of people, but look at all the jumble of things. And the comments that we say are, oh, my dress, what a mess. Yuck, look at this muck. Blast, you horrible draft. My hair. Oh, his hair blew off. Oh, you foul wind. Look at this poor man whose hair blew off. Everything's blowing around. Munchie's playing with Monsieur Newton le Grenouille. Otherwise, I would be Maisie, sorry. We were playing together. We're going to go back to playing, but we're still listening. Don't worry. Hi, Isaac. Hi, little Isaac. I love you, little Isaac. You're my main man. Oops, not supposed to say that so much. It's kind of silly. Okay, I'm going to play with Munchie now. Maisie. Back to the book. Oh, okay. Only the boy turned and faced the wind, and he breathed in. There's the wind, and there's the boy facing it, and he breathed in the breath of long ago kings and queens. How interesting. Why not? It doesn't just have to be dust in the wind. It could be the breath of long ago kings and queens. He felt air that touched the edge of outer space and traveled along the Great Wall of China, air that ruffled the hairs of polar bears living at the North Pole. He breathed in air that blew the dust off pyramids, brushed the hands of Big Ben, and filled Viking sails. Air that burst from ancient volcanoes, swayed the coconut palms over Bluebeard's Island, and tickled a dinosaur's chin. This boy has a great imagination. Not because he makes stuff up, but because he thinks of how things might be in a different way. Then, just as it came, the wind went. The boy watched it go. My name is Bernard, he yelled. The wind swept up his words and made its way out into the still afternoon. Which was not to be still for long. Another wind is coming. The end. So that was an interesting way to look at the wind. Maisie's just laying down here. You know what? She's hugging little Newton. Look, I don't know if you can see this, but can you see Maisie? I said Munchie again, but this is Maisie. And you see how she's hugging little Newton? That's really nice. I love this. I love this little cat. And she's very snuggled in. I think a little bit she got locked outside and maybe she got frightened by that raccoon. And when I went down there, when I heard the raccoon knocking over the trash can lid, I went down and then I saw little Maisie coming from a different direction. So she's on my lap now. Well, that was a very nice book about the wind. And I think I'll sign off now and then maybe I'll read you another. Because when I miss you and think of you, I read you books if I'm far away. And if I'm nearby, I read you books. Or we do that little conversation thing that we do, you know, where I go, ah, and you say, ah, and then actually you say it first, and then I answer. And then you say, ah, and I say, ah, and then you say, you wait a few moments, and then you say, ah, and then I say, ah, and sometimes you say, oh, and then I say, oh, and then sometimes you say, going, and then I say, going, and then I say, going, Isaac said, going, and then sometimes you laugh, and then I say, and we have a nice conversation. So we can still do it this way. Well, I hope you're sleeping very well. I hope your mom is sleeping very well. She worked so hard and she drove you home so safely and she got everything situated in the car so nicely. And then you were there and then you were playing, you were watching your feet. Oh my goodness, you're brilliant. I love you so much, little Isaac. Bye bye. I love you, little guy. Good nuit. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit. Good nuit. Bye bye.